The victory arc drawn by J-10C over Kashmir has not yet dissipated. Russia's olive branch to India has been wrapped in geopolitical urgency, when PL-15 missiles announced the rise of China's aerospace industry with real-world results. The sky game in South Asia is quietly crossing into the stealth era. The May 7, 2025 air battle was not only thrilling, costing only $40 million, but also made the J-10C crush the $250 million French Rafale, with a record of 5-0. The thrilling air battle on May 7, 2025, not only let the cost of only $40 million of J-10C to 5-0 record crushed the unit price of $250 million of the French Rafale, but also as a deep water bomb thrown into the international military market. Nigeria and other countries quickly signed a procurement agreement and was once regarded as South Asia's overlord of the Indian Air Force. At this moment is deeply mired in the quagmire of warplanes green and yellow. 33 aircraft age of more than 25 years of F-16 has not yet retired. At a cost of $8.8 billion, the introduction of 36 Rafale has been in the actual battle of myth-busting. What makes New Delhi suffocated is that the west side of Pakistan has announced that it will receive China's J-35 stealth fighters in 2026, and the east side of Bangladesh is rumored to be purchasing J-10C. If true, India will be unprecedentedly caught up in the strategic dilemma of the 3 lines of J-10 encirclement. In early June, Russia's United Aerospace Manufacturing Group submitted a proposal to Hindustan Aeronautics, which not only promises that the Su-57 can be locally produced in India, but also opens up the weapons interface, allowing the integration of India's domestically produced Astra air-to-air missiles and Astra air-to-air missiles, and Gaurav guided bombs. This technology sharing gesture is far more than the French restrictions on the Rafale. The Indian military has just experienced a setback in the air war. This generous gift exudes an irresistible temptation. However, behind this generosity is Russia's dilemma. By the Russian-Ukrainian conflict and the impact of sanctions, its arms exports plummeted 37%. Algeria and other traditional customers to the west. Su-57 is Russia's most advanced 5th-generation aircraft so far. 0 foreign sales, and urgently need to India as a strategic springboard, open the market. But for India, Su-57 is really a lifesaver. Comparison of technical parameters has revealed hidden worries. Zhuhai Air Show on the same stage, J-35 and Su-57 exposed the generation gap, the former radar reflection cross-section of only 0.01 square meters, the latter due to rivets exposed, bomb bay gaps and other issues. The actual stealth effect hovering in the 0.3 to 0.5 square meters, almost 2 orders of magnitude difference. Avionics system generation difference is even more deadly. China gallium nitride active phased array radar has approached the world's top level, while the Su-57 export model is still using the old gallium arsenide radar, and may even castrate the key side view radar module. Not to mention the missile gap, the Russian system R-77 range of only 70 kilometers, while the PL-15 200 kilometers beyond visual range to hunt and kill, the ability to be in the 5-7 air war. In the actual combat verification, India's anxiety not only stems from the technical disadvantage, but also lies in the lack of strategic options. Although the United States in 2025 India Air Show high-profile display F-35, but the Trump administration paved the way for the sale of the statement as more diplomatic rhetoric, taking into account Pakistan as a U.S. counter-terrorism ally of the status of the Indo-Russian military cooperation, and the depth of the U.S. Congress. It is impossible for the U.S. Congress to approve the export of F-35 to India. India's home-made Anka fighters have been highly publicized in the modeling stage, but the Ministry of Defense's internal assessment shows that the earliest it can be put into service is in 2035, and the Glory Mk2 fighter program, although it is claimed that the first flight will be held in 2026, but with the LCA Glory fighter only 20 years. The LCA Glory fighter program, although the first flight was announced in 2026, but with the LCA Glory fighters in 2 decades only delivered more than 20 units of history, the progress of the reliability of doubt. When the J-35 in Pakistan base into the countdown, the Indian Air Force options list, Su-57 almost become the only possible landing chips. However, military procurement is never a simple equipment deal. Russia's Made in India program hidden the risk of a repeat of the Su-30 MKI localization nightmare when Hindustan Aeronautics assembled the aircraft. the crash rate of 4 times the original Russian factory. Deeper hidden danger lies in the integration of the system. The Indian Air Force is equipped with Russian-made Su-30, French Rafale, Israel AWACS, and US-made Apache helicopters. Data link protocols are not compatible with each other. In the 5-7 Air War, the Indian Army has paid a painful price because of the system fragmentation. The Pakistani side through the Red Flag 9 air defense system to lock the target through the ZDK-03 AWACS and the China-Pakistan joint data chain will be the real-time transmission of information to the J-10CE. The formation of the A detection, B launch, C guidance. The ZDK-03 AWACS and China-Pakistan joint data chain will transmit the information to J-10CE in real time, forming a detection, B launch, C guidance, closed loop of the kill chain, and the Indian Rafale will not issue an alarm until the PL-15 approaches 60 kilometers. Even if Su-57 successfully integrated Astra missiles, if you can't get through the information islands of the three armies, the advantage of the 5th-generation aircraft will be eliminated in the fragmented system. The butterfly effect of the international arms market has already appeared. J-10CE cost-effective myth. Indonesia originally planned to purchase the model, but in Turkey throughout the palm oil against payment plus technology sharing program suddenly turned to order 48 Con fighter. Russia is using the Indian production line to Vietnam, the United Arab Emirates and other potential customers to send a signal. Su-57 has the ability to localize. For China's military industry, the brand premium brought by the battle test far exceeds the order itself. The Colombian Air Force Inspection Group has appeared in Chengdu Aircraft Industry Group, and the Saudi royal family secretly inquired about the J-35 when the $40 million of 4.5 generation fighters can shoot down the $250 million of 4.5 generation Ace. The Chinese weapons. The myth of the performance-to-price ratio is reshaping the logic of valuation in the global defense trade. The special nature of China-Pakistan military cooperation is even more so that India is like the back of the hand. Different from Russia and India's purely buy and sell relationship, China and Pakistan have established a full range of defense community covering technology transfer, joint exercises, equipment coordination. From the China-Pakistan friendship, written into the textbooks of elementary school, to the Ocean Guardian series of joint exercises in the Pakistani officers directly in Chinese to command the coordination of the two countries' military mutual trust, has been deep into the texture. This explains why Pakistan can be the first to get J-35, not only because of geostrategic needs, but also because of the compatibility of China and Pakistan system has been verified through the depth of the Dragon program. On the other hand, even if Russia and India restart the FGF, a cooperation program, the dispute over the transfer of core technology is still an obstacle to be overcome. New Delhi's policymakers are at a crossroads. On one side is the Su-57 production agreement handed over by Moscow, which promises to deliver 76 aircraft within 10 years. On the other is the increasingly clear outline of the J-35 on the western border. The choice of Russian-made fighters, while providing immediate relief, could drag the Air Force even deeper into universal equipment hell. The Su-57's L-41F-1S engine is already 17 tons of thrust, behind its own version of the Product 30 engine. The Su-57 L-41F-1S engine is already 17 tons of thrust, behind its own version of the Product 30 engine, and fuel consumption is 30% higher. And if you are desperate to wait for the domestic AMCA, the air defense vulnerability before 2030 is enough for Pakistan to form a generational advantage. Sukhoi Design Bureau engineers are adjusting the avionics interface for the Indian version of the Su-57. Shenyang Aircraft Company's production line is speeding up for the foreign trade J-35. When France's Dassault Aviation's stock price plummeted because of the myth of the Rafale, did the Kremlin foresee that sometime in the future, the Su-57, assembled by Hindustan, might encounter another stealthy hunter with an octopus insignia painted on its tail in the clouds of South Asia? Modern air warfare has long since ceased to be a one-man battle between knights. Even if the Su-57 flies to South Asia, if India cannot bridge the data gap between its US-made, Russian-made and French-made equipment, then New Delhi's dream of the skies will remain trapped in the silence of a universal brand of weaponry that cannot talk to each other. Fighter aircraft can be purchased quickly, but the genetic integration of the combat system requires a decade of grinding a sword, and in Islamabad's Combat Command Center, the green signal of the China-Pakistan integrated data chain has been in the radar screen silent flow.